So Harry is revealing one of the scariest nights that he and Meghan both experienced, guys. And a trigger warning indeed, because this story is absolutely insane. He is revealing all. Hey guys, it's Markle. Hopefully you guys are doing well today. Back at it again with another video. If you have not subscribed, click that button, guys, for daily and consistent content. Head over to my Instagram, my Patreon, my merch. Subscribe, and let's get straight into this video. So, of course, you know, Harry is conducting more interviews with Oprah and revealing a lot of crazy, insane information. I reviewed a little bit of it in my prior video last night, but I wanted to leave this as a separate video because of the insane details that were included in this. And I find this to be, it really just gives us an insight into the mindset of both Meghan and Harry whilst they were performing their royal duties, and how they actually didn't want to be there at all. Meghan's Markle told her husband, Prince Harry, how she was going to basically just leave her own life. Let's just put it that way. And how she planned this entire motive in a very set way, where she would plan a day with it, and this is what she was going to do, and this is what she was going to do to herself, so that she could no longer live on this planet anymore. The Duke of Sussex spoke about Meghan's struggles with mental health as well as his own in the documentary, The Me You Can't See. Meghan revealed during a high-profile interview with Oprah earlier this year that her mental health suffered while she was living in the UK, and that she was not given the help she needed. The Duke gave further details about her wife's struggles in the new documentary. I know some of you guys say, oh Murad, there's so many police around you, whatever. Guys, I live 10 to 15 minutes away from central London. This is London. This is one of the busiest cities in the world. So you're going to hear this stuff. I don't live on a farm now, or, you know, an outer skirt city. I'm from London. So, like, come on now, please. Always going to be hearing police behind me. It is what it is. The Duke gave further details about her wife's struggles in the new documentary. He said, Meghan decided to share with me the suicidal thoughts, and the practicalities of how she was going to do this. The scariest thing for her was her clarity of thought. She had not lost it. She was not crazy. She was not self-medicating, be it through pills or alcohol. She was absolutely sober. She was completely sane. Yet in the quiet of nights, these thoughts were the thoughts that woke her up. I'm somewhat ashamed of the way that I dealt with them. Harry said that what stopped his wife from giving into his suicidal thoughts was how unfair it would be to him after the death of his mum, Princess Diana, in 1997. The thing that stopped her from seeing it through, ending her own life, was how unfair it would be on me after everything that's happened to my mum, and now put me in a position of losing another woman in my life with a baby inside of her, our baby, he said. Wow. Harry also spoke about trying to get help from his family during this difficult time when his wife was struggling while she was pregnant with Archie. I thought my family would help, but every single ask, request, warning, whatever, they just got met with total silence, total neglect. Wow. She said she could have been told she would not be able to seek help, as it would have been good for the institution. Pregnant Meghan said, I just didn't see a solution. I didn't want to be alive anymore. The Duchess said she begged for help from the firm after struggling with her mental health, saying it was her husband who saved her. One night, while suffering thoughts, Meghan claimed that she forced herself to go to an event with Harry because she felt she couldn't be left alone, or fear of what she might do to herself. This is insane, guys. And she said that while the lights were down during the Cirque du Soleil premiere at the Royal Albert Hall in January 2019, she was weeping whilst clutching Harry's hand until his knuckles were white. The Duchess of Sussex, who was 6 months pregnant at the time, said that she would cry whilst the lights were down in the royal box before she would compose herself for the cameras and smile during the intervals. Meghan revealed, I was ashamed to say at the time, and ashamed to have admitted to Harry because of how much loss he suffered. But I knew that if I didn't say it, I would do it because I just didn't want to be alive anymore. I didn't want to be alive anymore. That was a very clear and real and frightening constant thought. And I remember how he just cradled. I don't think Meghan doesn't want to be alive anymore. I don't think that's what it is. Meghan just wants to stop hurting. And that is what it comes down to the brink of when it comes to these thoughts that you have. We want to take your own life. You don't necessarily want to take your own life. You just want the pain to stop hurting. And when you don't find a way for that pain to stop hurting, you end up taking one of the last stages of a severe depression, where you just want to take your own life. You don't want to live anymore. You're sick and tired of the constant pain that regurgitates around your environment. It's this sense of entrapment, the sense of it going to be everlasting, and you are just lost in the myriad of all of this, and you're just like, you know what, the best way is a quick exit. This is my plan. This is what I'm going to do. You see, in your head, it sounds so logical. It sounds so calming. There's a calming nature to having these thoughts, because you think that you're being very pragmatic when you're not. You're being very illogical, but you have these thoughts underlying within you to say, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to end everything. These are the stages once Harry goes. It's very similar to Caroline Flack. She planned all this. You have a stage within you where you plan all of this stuff. And the fact that Harry would continuously reach out to his family and he was faced with neglect, this is where his royal family need to end up. Do you understand? This is where they need to go, because your own son is telling you X, Y, Z and you're all ignoring him. This is where he needs to go. This is where he needs to go. Not only that, but we also have several people who have looked at this stuff and said, you know what, wow, Meghan Markle said to Harry, oh, you know, he wouldn't want to, she was not going to end her life because she knows that Harry lost his mother, another significant woman. They're so caring of him. Some people have taken that as saying that, you know, this is proof that Meghan is emotionally abusing Harry, that he's gaslighting her. And it's like, what are you talking about? You're reading a scenario where somebody is so depressed that they're going to take their own life, and you read that and you take that as, you know, she is emotionally controlling him, and that she's using this as an emotional tactic to use him and goad him and force him to do this. It's like, what kind of ill-mannered perception do you have as an individual? To have that perception is a grotesque projection of yourself as an individual, because the fact that you came to that conclusion is diabolical, disgusting, disgraceful. You're seeing somebody who is in pain, rather than show them sympathy, rather than show them empathy, you're sitting there and you're thinking that, you know what, this is truth, that Meghan is, of course, you know, exploiting this individual, controlling this individual. And, you know, Candace Owens was also one of the people, very prominent. He was saying that, you know, Meghan Markle indeed is emotionally abusing Harry, that he needs to run for the hills, he needs to get out of that relationship, he needs to get out of that, or whatever it is. And it's like, how do all of you succumb to these conclusions when none of you are there? None of you are in the rooms with Harry and Meghan and whatever goes down between them. So what are you even talking about? How about you come into these scenarios in situations when you are not even there? How does any of that sound logical? It's blatant hypocrisy, because you want to fly the damn flying flag about how music is so, you know, hypnotic. Which I would agree to an extent. How, you know, we have all these people who are trying to guide the youth into the wrong paths. Yet here you are coming to such damning conclusions about people that you don't even know. You're not even in the room with them. You've never even met them. So how are you coming to these conclusions? I find it just to be so obtuse, and also incredibly fascinated by it, that this is what humans do, specifically the media and television, papers, of course, but of course these high profile, moral compassing celebrities love to do the same, where you just come to these conclusions. Maybe Meghan Markle is emotionally controlling Harry. Maybe she's not. I don't know. I'm not there. So why would I sit here and blatantly say that as a fact when it probably isn't a fact from what I feel, but I just don't have enough information. If I was there as a third wheel and I was saying it, perhaps there's substance, but you're not even there. So I find that to be frustrating as well, that, you know, once the audience make you out to be the sinister person, no matter what happens to you, no matter what you go through, they will continue to find that. No matter what. You can't please everyone. Yes, a very cliche statement, but even if you don't do anything wrong, people will continuously try to say you are toxic, you are this, you are that, and they will just end like that because they're self-projecting, and they will just want to come to this conclusion because they find it fitting for you. End of story. This story is absolutely insane, which is why I wanted to leave it for a separate video, because it has a very important message of when it comes to people taking their own lives. And, you know, it is the last stage of depression, and it happens very often. People aren't selfish, they're just, you know, they've lost the energy to keep fighting. Let me know what your thoughts are, guys, when it comes to this. Head over by my merch in the bio below, my podcast, my Patreon. Subscribe to the channel, click that button for daily and consistent content, and I'll catch you guys soon for another video.